Hello, First Parish in Framingham. This is Reverend Aaron with the weekly update for October 1st. So good to be with you entering the beginning of October. This weekly update, I am thinking about informal communication. What I mean by informal communication is, and perhaps to put a better point on it, I mean informal conversation. Informal conversations are the kind of conversations that you'd have with the minister in the receiving line. That's why I'm standing here in the vestibule. They might be conversations you would have with the person you sat next to in the pews. They might be conversations you'd have over coffee over in Scott Hall or in the parking lot, or perhaps in Stop and Shop or Shaw's or Whole Foods. Those kind of conversations that you weren't intending to have happen, but happen nonetheless. We're missing that, I know, in these times of physical distancing and safer at home. And that's a shame, because I know from 5 years of ministry, I've had a lot of wonderful board meetings and wonderful phone calls with people and people who have sought me out. But it is the doorway conversations, where you have one hand on the doorknob about to leave, or you're kicking stones in the parking lot after a board meeting. And those feel like the conversations where you go the deepest. And as I said, we are missing those. Every conversation right now feels so intentional. We talk about if we're in person, when was the last time you had a COVID test? Are you currently showing any symptoms? Is it okay if we're 6 feet apart outside that I take my mask off? That sort of thing. We are being wonderfully intentional about our conversations. And friends, that is a beautiful thing. When we're talking on Zoom or when you call someone up on the phone, you are setting intention in that conversation. It feels a little bit more formal. I think we need more conversation, more chances to talk to one another that are informal, that we're calling someone up to chat, not because we have any agenda, but just because we want to see how they're doing, or we want to talk about the weather or what the heck happened to the Red Sox this year. I think those are the conversations that we're missing, that we need to now be intentional about. We need to be intentional about our informal conversations. Even when we have our conversations on Zoom these days, it takes effort to have those conversations. On Zoom coffee hour after a service, we break you up into breakout rooms, which is great because you get to know people that you wouldn't normally have a chance to talk to. That's beautiful. So, my challenge to you is in the next week, think about someone that you would normally have a parking lot conversation with. And call them up on the phone or shoot them an email and say, hey, how's the weather where you are? Have the time to have one of those informal conversations once again. This month of October, we are kicking off a look into contemplative practices and spiritual practices. These are the practices that help us learn a little bit more about ourselves. These are the practices that help us get grounded or get energized. I've been talking to a couple members of the congregation who have filmed video interviews, and I think you'll be... There's somebody honking their horn outside. I think you'll really enjoy hearing what other members of the congregation have to say. All right, friends, be well. Hope to see you on Zoom coffee hour after the service, or we also do it 11 o'clock on Wednesdays. Otherwise, feel free to shoot me an email, call me up, Even send me a text message. I can't guarantee that I will respond immediately, or you could do the same with your best friend as well. All right, be well, friends. Have a good rest of your day.